So 9540A is not requiring that we actually light something on fire. There is language in there about doing a large scale fire test, but thermal runaway testing, and so you can see in this letter here that we have from the San Jose Fire Department, where their big takeaway is thermal runaway testing is not equivalent to large scale fire testing. So the question I'd like to pose to the two of you is, well, what is large scale fire testing, and where does that fall into the world of 9540A? Is 9540A giving us, is there a way for a manufacturer to complete 9540A and also do a large scale fire testing and get that data to us?
I think that brings up a good point, which goes back to Josh's emphasis on, and mine as well, on not utilizing, the nomenclature of pass and fail, because I think it creates the optics from the manufacturers that, hey, if we do this and it has this level of involvement of the fire, or we use too high a state of charge, or that is going to create some sort of negative perception about the technology. From the AHJ side, it's like, I want this thing to burn hot. I want it to burn completely. I want it to be a raging inferno. I want to know worst case scenario, because we're the ones showing up in the middle of the night with, some overtime crew that's never seen the, installation site, and trying to figure out what we commit as far as resources to protect exposures. We risk a lot to save a lot. If a life's involved, we're going to be doing a lot more than we are if it's just property that we're looking at saving. So I think if we abandon some of that idea that there is a pass and fail criteria with these, and use it more as an educational and informative data collection test that will then go into the hazard mitigation analysis that's site specific to that technology, that becomes a little less fearful approach for manufacturers to engage testing labs, in my opinion.
There's so many things that could be learned from that fire test, and it is an expensive test that consumes a lot of material and can only be done in a few places. So there's no reason not to address as many of the fire services concerns, the insurance agencies concerns, and the community risk reduction concerns. Toxicity, plume spread, smoke deposition, water, water usage, and all of that. So I don't see any facility or installation that's just a cookie cutter, pass fail. Good job, you passed the large fire test. I think that they really need to be looked at with a lens and understand what it means for those installations and those situations. It's more about data than it is, yup, you check the box.
If I am a manufacturer, or I'm a EPC taking this to my AHJ, what should I be pointing out? What is that elevator pitch on the UL9540A test report and the data that I'm having included with it?
So what 9540A proves is that for many typical internal cell failures and faults, the system has been designed to prevent catastrophic fire damage. So whether that is by limiting cell-to-cell propagation, so that one cell failure does not result in the cascading failures, or that is by separating modules from each other, where a whole module either on fire or entering consumable thermal runaway doesn't spread to the other modules, or by protecting adjacent combustibles from the unit itself on fire, through a sprinkler system or other fire safety systems. That the combination final design of the system limits the potential damage from typical cell failures. And that's about where I'd leave that.